Hey everybody, it's Jason Cruz here once again with the interview for MMA Payout out here in Seattle, Washington. I am talking to Evelyn Martins. PFL Challenger Series takes place February 3rd, and she is in the co-main event against Jeslen Mishelle. The first question I'd like to ask everyone, Evelyn, is how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Very nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to be here and talk a little bit about my next fight with you guys.
No problem at all. So, first of all, how has your training camp been going into this fight?
It's been good. It's been tough and it's been great actually. I've been training very, very hard for this next fight.
Now you're at American Top Team down there in Miami, Florida.
Yes. I train at America Top Team headquarters, which is located in Coconut Creek area. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, and so that's where you are currently right now in Coconut Creek.
Yes. State of Florida, sunshine, not cold weather anymore.
Awesome. That's great. That's good to know. So tell me now, how long do you live down there in Florida
Oh,
all
yes,
year
I
round?
live in Florida. Yes, I do live in Florida, and it has been for a little bit more than 5 years now.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit now about how training has gone. According to Tapology, you haven't had a MMA fight in, well, now it's 2 years, and you've had three or four that have been canceled. So tell me about how the mindset is for you as you first fight in almost 2 years.
Well, I've actually had 7 fights canceled. We
Oh,
tried so many,
oh my.
but unfortunately, all the girls were back now. A lot of things were happening, which you understand, as a fighter, as a woman, actually, so many things can happen in preparation. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to fight at the end of 2021. I didn't have any chance to fight in 2022. And after this quite a while time, almost 2 years, I believe, or 2 years already, I'm just so happy that I have the opportunity to go back inside of the cage and and fight, And I'm so happy and super excited about it.
So the big question is, what did you do during all this time? Did you keep training? Did you take some time off? What was your feeling about, especially last year where you had fights that were supposed to happen but didn't happen?
Well, if I could tell you one thing, I've been doing so many training camps already that I could fight tomorrow if they needed me to, Having so many fights canceled and getting back to back chance and waiting for a fight to happen that did not happen. It actually made me work a lot harder. I didn't fight, but I trained a lot harder because I was always in training camp, always training. So during that time, I didn't have any time off. I just kept training and I kept trying to get better, That's all I did pretty much.
Now, what do your coaches say as far as, I mean, I'm sure there's a level where you want to ramp up, but then since you had all these fights canceled, do your coaches wanted you to maintain that level of fitness, or did they tell you to take a rest? How did they go about you with this preparation?
Well, with so many fights getting canceled and me had to go back and do the training, we never have a easy schedule at ATT to normal classes, so I never stopped doing those classes. And then once we get a fight, we kind of separate things to be a little bit more specific. But once fights were getting canceled, my coaches were always telling me to maintain a little bit because we always try to keep one level. Then when we get a fight, we just go a little bit higher, but always try to not be lower than here. We always need to be here. So once we get a fight, all I have to do is fly up because you're gonna be ready. And during those times, during those training camps, during fights getting canceled, and not fighting, I was doing my training, then taking a little bit a break from some trainings, some classes, and that's basically how I managed to go through my 2022. I trained, got the opportunity to fight. It didn't happen. It took some days to to do some physiotherapy, do some whatever massage, or go to shopping, but never stop training. Just basic things.
Gotcha. I gotcha. And so at AT&T, who for this training camp, who did you would train with? Who were your sparring partners? And if you could divulge that information.
Well, I train with so many great athletes at ATT all the time, because all of them are basically down here training with us. Um, but when people ask me, I always have as a main training partner my sister. She's a very good grappler girl, also very striking girl. She hasn't made her pro debut yet, but she's a four times world champion in jiu-jitsu already for the IBJJF. But I've been doing some striking with some partners over there with all the girls who train with us. We got Maria Shitara who fights in the UFC. We got Kayla at the gym who I have the opportunity to train with. We got Yana. We got so many great girls over there that I try to get a little bit of experience with each of them. So, yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to ask you, how is it with training with Kayla Harrison?
Oh, it was good. She's very tough. Very nice girl.
So, I mean, you are fighting at 145. So, would it be possible at some point down the road that Kayla would be an opponent?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I mean, I do not know how it's gonna be the seasons during this year,
Mhm.
so I have no idea. I have no idea about it. So,
Okay. So the other question is, how is it training with your sister? I know that with a sibling, it's very close relationship and thing like that. I assume. How
uh,
is it?
let me tell you something. Once we're inside of the mats, we like to say we're paying bills. So anything we have with each other, we gotta throw it out in the training. We cannot fight outside the gym, but we have to go harder, 100%. So basically, she tried to kill me, and then I try to give it back a little bit, and that's how it goes.
Does it? I mean, so I would. Does it get a little more personal? Like you can push harder since it's your sister, as opposed to like if it's just somebody else within the gym.
Well, yeah, training with my sister, when people ask, it's not actually that person. We just like we look at each other and say we're here to help each other. We're here to make each of us better. So I give my best to her, and she gives her best to me, and that's how we get better together. And I'm super uh, sure that once she get the opportunity to fight MMA, she will also shock the world. She's very skilled, very young girl too. She's only 18. She's kind of following my steps a little bit on the fighting career, but it's amazing to have my sister as my main training partner, as a sister, as a friend, and yes,
Yeah. And so does she live with you as well?
yeah, she lives with me. Yes,
Yeah.
I live
So
with my family.
how do you guys how did you guys get into MMA at such a young age? I mean, you're only 20 years old, 21 or 20? 20.
2020. I just turned 20 September. Uh, well, it basically runs in the family, I started fighting kickboxing and Muay Thai when I was 11 years old. Dad used to compete jiu-jitsu, train capoeira. My mom used to train a lot of Muay Thai. Also, um, my uncle, he used to fight pro MMA before. So I've always seen this a little bit in the family. We don't have many fighters in the family. It was just always my uncle and my dad competing jiu-jitsu, my mom training Muay Thai. Me and her, my sister, we're basically the fighters right now. But we started at such a young age because we liked it. I thought it was something really cool to do it. And then when I watched MMA for the first time when I was around 13, I believe, or 12 something, I was like, I wanted to do this because I love striking and I also love jiu-jitsu. So why not do both at the same time? So I decided to go and start training MMA. Couldn't fight obviously because I was very very young. So I kept fighting kickboxing as much as I could. Then when we moved to United States, I went to a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments, compete a lot of against a lot of tough girls, around the world. And also when I turned 18, I just went straight to pro. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've been fighting for quite a while now.
Oh, wow. So your background, you first started in Muay Thai, is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
So what was the biggest challenge for you when you transitioned into MMA? Was it
Uh,
jiu-jitsu? Was it striking? Was it wrestling? What was the biggest challenge for you?
Basically, I couldn't say that nothing was like very, very challenging to me because I was very young, so I was very open to learn new things, you know. I'm still very young though, but when I was a little kid,
No, yeah.
I was just so open to learning new things. I was like, okay. Obviously, my first jiu-jitsu trainings was kind of a little bit, tricky because I had to do some different stuff. But I always had so much fun training jiu-jitsu as well that I liked it since from the beginning. And then obviously had to improve the wrestling game, and yeah, but I don't think it was a big challenge for me to try, do the things. I just in my mind, if I do need to get better at something, I set it up and say, this is what I find. I chose this. So there's no challenges in my way. I just gotta go there, train, give my best, and get the job done, and that's it. So that's how always I try to put myself into it. Obviously, every almost every athlete said some trainings they don't like to do it, some trainings are tricky or challengers. But I think everything in life will be a challenger. So you gotta accept that and just go there and do your job. That's it.
How has it been for you, since your mom and dad and your uncle are familiar with the combat sports landscape? How supportive were they for you to get in at such an early age into doing MMA?
Well, my mom, it's a funny story. She used to hate MMA. She'll say, "Oh, this is so crazy. People hitting each other's face, getting bloody in the face, kicking." Uh, but the funny thing is, she's the one who took me to the gym to do my first trainings.
Now, is that
I
because she wanted you to see how it was, or did you just press her to
Yeah,
do it?
she said because by the time back then people were Muay Thai were getting very famous and kickboxing because it gives you a better shape. You train hard, you burn a lot of calories. Just she said she wanted to try it. Obviously, she tried to put me in dance, in jazz, or whatever she wanted to, ballet, but nothing worked. I said, since you're going, you're gonna have to take me to. And then she started taking me and Emily. She said she thought we are only gonna train, have some fun, but she really had any idea that we were gonna like so much, and then we wanted to take this for our life. But she's both of them, my dad and my mom, they're both very supportive. I could say the best parents in the whole world. They changed their whole life over there in Brazil to bring me and my sister to the United States so we could train, have a better life and better opportunities in fighting. So yeah, they're
Yeah.
very supportive.
So tell me a little bit about PFL Challengers. How did you get that opportunity to be with the PFL?
Well, people say for you to get better, for you to achieve things, for you to make your dreams come true, you gotta be at the gym every day, right? Training, even if you don't have a fight. So one day I was at the gym and we got the call, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm ready for it." So
Oh.
let's do it.
So did they see your fighting your fight to Titan, or were you amateur? What was it? What was it that drew you to the that the PFL decided to take a chance on you?
With PFL, I was supposed to do one fight last year. Unfortunately, I had to be pulled out because we had some personal problems like the visa stuff, work stuff. We got that solved, by the way. But I was at the gym training, and then one of the girls from the card need to be pulled out, so they was looking for someone. And then they found me at training at ATT. So I was like, yes, I would take it for sure.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's great. So now tell me about how are you approaching this fight against Jeslen Mishelle? Are you and you and your coaches watching her, or is it a matter of just going on there for yourself and putting on your own strategy in the fight?
Uh, well, me and my coaches, we always try to take these fights on high school exams. So we do have study our opponents. We do take a look up their fights, you know, how they train. I think this is something very important. Every athlete should do it. You know, it's obviously it's all about getting set of the cage. Once the door locks, everything can happen. But we like to prepare. I like to get prepared like this, starting doing specific situations. Because obviously there is always one thing that you need to be very prepared for the fight. You know, because some fighters are very good at boxing, some fighters are very good at wrestling. So once you need to get prepared for those type of fighters, you need to train more those type of things so you can be ready on the fight day.
Gotcha. I got you. Now, you just talking about high school exams, preparing like a high school exam. Is there something that you do outside of MMA that like other teenagers or younger kids do? Like you alluded to shopping. Do you have any other hobbies outside of MMA?
Yes, I do. I do love to go shopping. I do love to hang out with my family. We go to the church every week. Pretty much in it. I love soccer. I used to play soccer when I was very little kid. It was one of my first sports. I would say if I hadn't choose MMA first, I would definitely have chose to be a soccer player.
Okay.
Because I like it so much. I like horses. I like to go to the beach, and I like to do all the normal stuff, you know. And I always try to make the best out of it, of every moment. But I love so much being at the gym and training too. So
Just a regular 20-year-old, except you like punching people in the face.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Well, Evelyn, obrigado. Thank you so much for your time.
Portuguese on it. De
What's
nada.
that?
You good Portuguese. You said
Oh,
obrigado.
that's all I know. I'm sorry. But PFL Challengers, Friday, February 3rd. You will be in the co-main event. We wish you good luck, and we will be watching.
Thank you so much. It's very nice to meet you guys. I hope you guys have a nice day. God bless you.
Yeah, have a nice day and have a great afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.